I want to be the best ever is a very strong idea. And people might argue straight away, well, how can I do that if I've got to be at work at 7 a.m? And once you find yourself loving this moment, it's amazing how much things just fall into place for you.
And you went through those 3 phases, right? You read about the first phase was you wanted to be the best ever. Then you wanted to be, the second one was you
best I can be.
The best you can be. And the third is you want to be, which is where you find yourself now, all you can be.
Yeah, it just determines the strength of the idea or opinion behind it. I want to be the best ever is a very strong idea.
It's a zero-sum game, right?
Yeah, and that's hugely massive comparison, massive competition, massive measuring up, massive dependence upon other people's views. How do you know you're the best ever? Because someone says I do. Right, I'm going to work on you. I'm not going to work on myself. I'm going to work on your opinion. The second one, the best I can be, is an idea still. What's my best? Well, I was good then, so it needs to be that, but a bit more. Okay, it's still a strong idea. You're still limiting yourself. All I can be is looking at the eye, not looking at the rugby player. Because the best I can be is, okay, well, I'm going to be the best father. I'm going to be the best. And these are all great pursuits, but they still don't match up to what about just this being? How much can I be in terms of how can I explore my being? The best I can be still just shifts over to doing. The best ever is all about doing. It's all about physicality. Best I can be, a bit less. All I can be drops the physical, and that's where creativity comes in. Being creative physically means moving stuff around. Being creative, which is effort, but being really creative means you can sit and just be. And that's where I think all the opportunity is.
There'll be people listening to this that are, they left university, they went to school, and now they're a lawyer, and they've been a lawyer for 15 years. Or they might be, a dentist. Now they've been a dentist for 20 years. And a lot of the time when I speak to these people, there's this other voice inside them that's been suppressed over time, which is probably all they can be. And they've got really consumed in this identity, which their parents wanted them to adopt, of being a doctor or a lawyer, or whatever it might be. When I speak to these people, they are seemingly trapped by something. And that force that's trapping them seems to be so much stronger than the other voice, which they sometimes can even point to as being a more fulfilling life, which is, I guess, all they can be. They want to go and be an artist. Yeah. They speak to me before my show, they show me their Instagram, and they're the most unbelievable artist I've ever seen in my life. And their face lights up when they talk about that thing. But when I ask them what they do, they say, I work in the city, I work in finance for KPMG or something. And you can see the dread in their face.
Yeah.
How does someone start the journey? And I think you alluded to vulnerability there, but how does someone start the journey of going from that place of confinement and identity and I am this thing that I've earned through my achievements to being all I can be in a practical way? How does that journey begin?
I think that voice, that inner calling, as you just said, is passion and excitement versus the duty and the need and the fulfilling the roles, if you like, of society. And I think, therefore, for me, the way that works is that you add to the passion, excitement constantly and allow that to look after your deepest intention, which is always, I want to spend, I think, all my time fully present, which means doing what I love doing, being who I feel like I'm meant to be, as much as that will keep evolving and changing. So therefore it comes down to following your highest passion and excitement in every moment. And people might argue straight away, well, how can I do that if I've got to be at work at 7 a.m. and I've got to do this and I've got to go and traipse across town to get here? You say, yes, but within the boundaries of what you have to do, what's your highest excitement? Follow that. So, I've got to drive across here and it's going to take me 2 hours. But then when you're in the car, tune into what's my highest passion and excitement. I love this podcast. Okay, go. That's it. I really want to listen. I've got my hands free. I'm going to phone so-and-so because I just thought of them and I really want to chat to them. Follow that intuitive, instinctive, impulsive side that comes from what you want. And when that gains momentum, I think the way it works is that the universe responds by providing more and more opportunities to do more and more of what you like, so that your highest and passionate excitement, the environment allows for you to really do more and more of what you really love doing. But you've got to start the ball rolling by saying, right, within this moment right now, how can I what's my highest passion and excitement? How can I bring more of me into this, as opposed to allow this to take away more of me? And I think that is a journey that just looks after itself. You know, it's on a physical level, it's the little things you can do, set goals and allow them to, you know, focus on what you can do and allow it to expand and grow into the most amazing things. It's the same way of just doing that on an internal level. Is just follow your highest. It might be physical. It might just be things I love thinking about. Even if it comes down to being, you know, you're stuck in a lift and you're kind of like, and it's a tiny lift and you're going to be there maybe for a while. Okay, but people talk about going to a happy place, but what's my highest passion and excitement? Oh, what I love to be doing now, paint it, picture it, think of it, dream it, feel it, all those kind of things. All these things are amazing things to be doing. And if you're following your highest passion, if you're enjoying and embracing this moment, I spoke to someone recently who was saying that, you know, to know you're on track for your future manifestations of your dreams, the indicator is often how deeply are you embracing and enjoying this moment now. And once you find yourself loving this moment, it's amazing how much things just fall into place for you. And I think that's the key, is to be able to say, whatever it is, whatever you can do it and bring it to this. And I think that voice that says, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, it's not possible, I shouldn't do this, or it's not right, is another way of saying, I can't be me.
It's so interesting, because when you were saying that, I was thinking about the former version of myself at 18 living in Manchester and Moss Side, where, you know, I was very, I had nothing, and I was shoplifting, as I've talked about a million times, food to feed myself. But in that moment, although I was working in call centres at night shifts, I was so unbelievably excited by life, because I was also designing my website designing my future business in my lunchtime, in my breaks of that call centre. And I've said this for years, and I don't think people believed me, but I've said I was as happy then as I am now. That kid was so optimistic and so happy, even though he had no money and he was working night shifts in a call centre. And it sounds so privileged, and like, obviously because of money now, whatever. But it resonated with so much of what you were saying then. I think it's because of what you were saying then, was I was still pursuing my highest passion, despite the fact that I was working in this call centre. I was still occupying all of my time and my thoughts that I could with that future. And that's what I believe manifested me being here, because I could have made the decision that this was my destination and my forever, and I'd probably still be there now in Moss Side.
Yeah, I definitely agree. The idea about following your highest passion, there is a passion, I think, deep down, is for expressing who you are. And there's no doubt for me that rugby, for that period of my life, was what I was meant to do. That's how I was supposed to play out. That was what I was supposed to be at that time. But then your passion changes slightly. And to be able to leave the rugby and follow that passion, often I think people say, you know, it's really difficult to find my next passion. But I think having that kind of ability to leave behind what's been is what allows passion for what can be. And I think, like we were saying before, about you finish your rugby and then you think, I'll go straight into coaching because it's close enough and people will still know me, but actually to have that period of, not just after an end of a career, but daily, to have that quiet period every day where you just sit, not with ideas, I'm going to think about this, or I need to plan this, or I need to work out what my passion is, but just sit and just disconnect from that pull of the external, eyes closed, and just watch. But of course, straight away comes in is, am I doing this right? What should be happening? Should I be feeling something? I haven't had any ideas. It's been 2 weeks, but just do it. Just do it in the name of moving to your potential, because we were so willing to give to our limits. Look at how many years we spend suffering and telling ourselves certain things that have come from old ideas that no longer serve us. And we're willing to give all our time to those, but people are still like, it's too hard to find 10 minutes to sit on an evening. What am I going to do? When actually, you have that moment where you're sat watching something on TV and it's not really interesting you, and you're kind of like, that's time there. But once that ball gets rolling, when your passion centers around something and everything comes out of that same passion, so it's all aligned, it's all kind of focused energy, that's going to manifest. There's no doubt. You know, like I'm sure at some level, there's no way you get to where you are now without there being that drive. Now, I had that in the rugby, and a lot of it was sort of conflict, and it stressed the hell out of me, but it was so damn strong that it had to win.